What is going on to the few people who are playing baseball out there on this lousy little slate? How you guys doing today? Just a reminder, we're going to be live at 7 Eastern to do a live before lock. We'll probably do that for about 25, 30 minutes. Hopefully, Rody will be joining me. We are excited to have NFL back. That's really, really fun. But I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking about what I'm doing for the MLB tonight. So the thing I like to do is just talk about, how to approach these little mini slates where there's, pretty concentrated ownership are going to fall a couple different ways. You can see in the projected ownership, if you guys have members of the site, like Goldie, which aggregates all the projections throughout the industry and has them in one place. So it literally is like the best thing out there. So shout out to Goldie. But I wanted to point out that I think that some of these teams are getting a little too low owned, and I'm going to take some weird chances on today's slate. So here is what I will be doing. As of right now, my pitching core is going to be pretty chalky. I've got the main ones I have are Rodon, Quantrill, and Fried, but I'm also going to be playing a lot of Erod and a lot of Assad from Chicago. So those are my main ones. I also think like Davis Daniel, who's pitching for the Angels now tonight. I think that, people are going to take that 4K chance. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to end up seeing the Angels and Cleveland game way low owned, especially if we don't have lineups out before the first set of games lock. I think that's really going to happen. So I'm going to be forcing in, I will use both those pitchers. I'm going to be forcing in both teams. I don't think you need a full 5-man stack tonight. If you want to, that's totally fine. I like stacking the Angels, and you never know. Like, it's not official that Ohtani is not going to play. I don't think he's going to. Obviously, most likely he doesn't play. But what if he does? And what if I stack him with cheap guys in the later games, and then I can always middle it out if I have to? I'm willing to take a gamble like that. So I like getting the pieces of the Angels. The Guardians will be a little bit more owned, but I like getting pieces there. I don't think they're going to be that high owned. The main teams I'm focusing on, though, are the Dodgers, Braves, Angels, and Yankees. The Dodgers I think are going to be low owned. They've struggled with lefties enough. They're a low enough total. Will Smith, though, is going to be sub 10% projected right now at catcher. I love that. I love Mookie, but he's going to have a little bit of ownership. But playing him with Acuna and spending down at pitching, I think is a good idea. And I've got like 3-3-2 is what I've got in my biggest buy-in right now with the Dodgers, Braves, and Indians. Then in my other lineups, I'm mostly heavy on the Angels. That's my way of approaching this. This is what I'm doing. And again, there's plenty of other routes to go. So I'm going to go through. I do think getting the players you want are more important today than necessarily the stacks on these kind of slates. Of course, one team could go off. It happens. We see both sides of it win. But on the smaller slates, I like to try to get different. So I'm going to be using more 4-2-2s, 3-3-2s, 3-3-1-1s, 3-2-2-1s. I'm willing to do that. So I'm going to go through my players. Catcher, Will Smith, Travis d'Arnaud are my favorite two. Logan O'Hoppe would be my third. First base, I have Calhoun and Chanel from the Angels, mostly because Calhoun from Cleveland, little revenge for Cole Calhoun. Chanel, and then I do have some Ohtani lineups, which again, I'm going to have to shift things around, but I'm willing to take a wild gamble on a small slate when we're not going to have the news till after lock. And it's really not that big of a deal because I can always spread out and I don't have to play guys like, Will Brennan then necessarily, who I'm not like overly excited to play. I don't need to play Andy Ibanez, but I'd have to know that before the 7:05 games lock. So it's a little tricky, which is why no one's going to do it, and I'm willing to take that gamble. Second base, Mookie Betts, Ibanez are my top two. The third base, Kiki Hernandez, Mike Moustakas, Eduardo Escobar as the cheap option from the Angels that I'm using with my Ohtani that I'll probably move up in a couple different spots. Escobar is a guy I probably would move up off of if Ohtani is out, if he's still batting eighth. So that's one thing. Arias, Arcia, Rengifo, and then you get the Med Rosario, who's probably going to have a little too much ownership for me, but I actually think that Rosario, Rengifo, Arcia, Arias, I don't really see myself using a whole lot of other shortstops. Outfield, Acuna, Azuna, Harris, Rosario. You guys know the drill, Atlanta outfielders. I do like Chris Taylor for the Dodgers, Jason Dominguez for the Yankees. Pereira for the Yankees is a cheap option batting 8th, just a guy you can use, as a filler piece. Looking at the value, and nothing's updated since. Nothing's really been all that different since earlier. You have Brennan and Pereira still projecting as the best point per dollar plays, super cheap. Tyler Nevin would be one that no one's going to use. And I don't think anyone's really playing Pereira, Brennan, or Nevin all that much. I think Brennan will be the highest owned of those 3. So that's what I'm doing. Pop in with any questions, pop in with any thoughts, and let's get into it. What's up to MJ? What up, man? Let's double dip that cash guy. Oh, let's go. Let's get some money. Let's take something down. But guys, let me know if you have any questions or thoughts. Otherwise, I'm probably going to get out of here really early unless there's any sort of feedback. I know there's not a lot of people playing this slate. We haven't had a lot of activity in Discord, which I know we will for NFL coming in a little bit. Hopefully you guys can join us at 7 Eastern for our live before lock with me and Rody. And going to be covering the showdowns for you guys as much as we possibly can from a video perspective and from a projection perspective. So any thoughts or questions, please hit me up, and I'm here. Brave stack is chalk, but the thing is interesting is so I'm going to look at Goldie's projections because I find them to be, like I said, the most accurate in the industry in terms of ownership. I'll answer the other one in a minute, but I'm going to get to this. Let me just go to Atlanta's current projected ownership. So while they're going to be chalky, they are the chalkiest team. You could play Nicky Lopez batting down at the bottom of the order, who I don't expect to be overwhelmed with ownership because he's 3,300. You could play Arcia, who's going to be a little bit lower. I wouldn't play a 5-man Brave stack because of the chalk. I would probably try to keep it to 4, which kind of their lineup makes it easier to do anyway, because you don't necessarily want 5 of those chalky players, and you'll get different by just having a 4-man or a 3-man. And that's more what I'm going to. More 3-man, some 2-mans, and just trying to stay away from the massive, overall chalk. But I do expect everybody in Atlanta by the end of the day to be double-digit owned. Maybe not Nicky Lopez, but even him probably. So that's what I would be after. Strider got lit up yesterday. He was not in my big buy-ins, and I still didn't win. So I did win during the day yesterday, but I did not win at night. No Cubs because the wind blowing in is Dwayne's question. Yeah, that's the reason for me. But I actually, because it's blowing in from left field, I don't have a major issue if you wanted to take the lefties for the Cubs. And they have plenty of them out there. The problem is you also have to factor in that there is pinch hit risk for Tauchman. That's one thing. Then you've got you're paying a ton for Bellinger, and there's still, it's cold, 65 degrees, the worst hitting weather on the slate by far. But I have no problem if you wanted to go after the Cubs. I also don't have any problem if you wanted to get weird and play Ryan Nelson. I have no problem with the Cubs. I just didn't get to them myself. St. Brown is a captain for TJ. We'll talk about football at 7 Eastern. Any other baseball-related questions that you guys want to know before I get out of here? I did post my early builds. They haven't yet changed, and I would like to change them before, so I would happy to stay around for a few more minutes, but only if you guys have more to talk about, because I don't know what else I can do other than saying basically exactly who I'm playing and my way of approaching the slate. I'm talking myself more and more into this Angels idea, potentially even some more Guardians as well. Davis Daniel. So I'll give you a quick, it's a good question, TJ. I'll give you a quick rundown of the little bit I know about Davis Daniel. So obviously, the Angels are out of it. They're trying to play, some of their other guys. He has been pitching at AAA, and he has been really good. I don't know how long his leash will be. I don't think we have actual official word on that, but I wouldn't count it being very long. And I think playing him is absolutely viable. He did struggle a little bit last year at AAA, but not even like that crazy bad. At 4K, probably worth taking a chance. But I think a lot of people are going to have that approach. So I would rather play Quantrill than him. But at the same time, you're going to be a little bit different by playing him. He'll be a little bit lower owned than Quantrill. He's a little bit cheaper, obviously. So yes, totally viable. I don't have him as much of a priority maybe as some other sites do. And I also think he's going to, if you play like Daniel and Quantrill in the same game and then an Atlanta stack, you're basically playing a cash game lineup to some extent. That's going to be, it's exactly what everybody's going to do who does play Daniel. It's going to be all Braves. So I would suggest if you play Daniel to not play more than 4 Braves. That's my thing. Littell, is he good tonight? That's a really tough question to answer. It's just a high variance thing. Yeah, he's in the mix. I don't have a particular like or dislike of him. I think he's totally fine, completely viable. Yes. Priority, no for me, but I will probably end up with him in the lineup or two. Thanks a lot, Cam the man. I really appreciate the kind words. And to answer the questions on Assad, no problem. I like Assad. He's my favorite pitcher that, and again, as we predicted, he gained a little steam throughout the day, but I do like Assad, and I would gamble on that Assad play. But I am playing him with Rodon, and I'm just curious how many people do that exact build. I think with the Daniel news of starting, I think you're going to see Daniel, Quantrill be the guys after Fried in terms of ownership, and then I think you're going to get into you're going to get into the Pepios. Some people will play Castillo. I don't have any Castillo at the moment, but I would encourage you, just if everything seems like close to even for you today, just get weird with it, get contrarian. This is the kind of slate you want to do that with, and yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. So I wish you all a great deal of luck. I will be in the premium Discord all night. I'm going to finish my MLB lineups, and then we will be right back at 7 Eastern with the Showdown show.